here in Arkansas, and I'm very, very concerned. On September 16th, I was shocked to find out that 3 students were banned from going to school in Pea Ridge, Arkansas. The superintendent, Rick Neal, found out some way that their biological mother was HIV positive. So for some reason, he wanted those kids tested for HIV before they could return to school. He refused to allow them to go to school, and he also refused to allow them to play football just because he wanted them tested. He didn't know if they had it or not. He just wanted them tested. Mr. Mills stated that he banned the students from the school so that they would not expose other students to HIV. Let me remind you, they are assuming these students have HIV. They do not have the facts. They don't know. There are so many things wrong with this situation. First of all, who gives Mr. Neal the right to refuse these students from getting an education? It does not matter if they are HIV positive or not. It is their civil right to receive an education. It is against the Pea Ridge policy as well as the Arkansas school state policy to discriminate against any student, including disabled students. These students were robbed of their civil right of an education for 10 days. What kind of an example does that leave as a superintendent or as a state board for allowing the superintendent to do this? Why does it matter if these students are HIV positive? Are we that far behind in Arkansas that we don't know that HIV is not contagious? Where did the education about HIV end and the fear begin? The moment Mr. Neal chose to ban those students from school, he placed fear into Pea Ridge as well as into the state of Arkansas. He's a leader, and people listen to him. Because those students were banned, it made people start to think about HIV, and he sent the wrong message. He sent fear back into people's hearts and minds about HIV. As a mother, I worry every day about what people are going to say to my daughter at school all the time. 2 days after this happened, a mother stated at my daughter's school that she would remove her student if she found out another student or parent was HIV positive at her school. The ignorance and fear does not take long to spread. I have had conversations with other HIV parents in Arkansas that feel the same way I do. They feel that this could have happened to them, or if something does not change, it will happen to our children as well. Not to mention, what about the students that are HIV positive here in Arkansas? How do they feel about this? What are they going through? What about the stigma that they're having to deal with? What about the mother that's dealing with this, that this happened to? How does this make teens feel about talking about sex education, and about disclosing their HIV, and about getting tested for HIV? This terrible act does not help our fight to end the stigma of HIV. It only fuels the fire. School is where children should feel safe and protected. The people running the school should not act like bullies and teach the students that fear is the way to get what you want in life. The lack
Ms. Coffman, your 5 minutes are up.
Really?
How long? Yes, really.
I can talk really. I'll talk faster.
Okay.
Please don't let me stop. I mean,
all right, I'll give you at least 1 more minute.
Okay, this is important. Okay, the people running school should not act like bullies and teach students that fear is the way Mr. Neal could have called the health department and simply asked what HIV is and how it is transmitted without making this public, but he chose not to. Instead, he chose to deny 3 students a proper education for 10 days and teach the remainder students and faculty of Pea Ridge that you should fear HIV rather than learn about it. As a mother, I feel that it is vital that the educators become more aware of HIV so that the situations like this never happen again. There are great resources such as CDC that define HIV and explain the transmission of HIV very well. HIV is real. When this happened, it made me want to pull my daughter out of school. Students are humans and people, and my daughter is my world. I took her to meet Mr. Neal at Pea Ridge at their school board meeting because I felt it was important for him to see the face of a real woman with HIV. It was important because he treated those 3 students like they were trash or disgusting, and that is wrong. People with HIV are the opposite. If I can leave you with one lasting impression, it would be that my name is Kari Coffman. I'm a mother, a sister, a daughter, an aunt, a college student, an activist, and I'm living with HIV, and HIV looks like me.